Hello and welcome everyone. So I have a video here that people have asked again about. All the videos I'm doing for quite some time coming up are going to be topics that people have asked about, and this one really deals with two types of individuals. And I'm showing you this picture because a lot of you might be wondering, well, what type of person is it? Well, it's none of these particular types. It has really nothing to do with what a person looks like or anything of that nature. It has to do with either they're going to be giving life or they just started to really begin in life. So before I get into that, please watch this whole entire video so you'll understand this. And this is something that pretty much a lot of people do want to know about, and I've never really touched base on this, but I'm going to touch base on this so everyone can really understand. So, as I just mentioned, it's not one of these types of people. It is somebody, number one, let's start with, that's about to give life. And you see the fruit here. Fruit is still fine. However, in my opinion and some experience that I've had, as far as seeing women that are about to give birth, that they really shouldn't be trying to detox. But once again, consuming fruit is not going to be a problem, but I wouldn't suggest all fruit, since the body, if it gets into detox mode, it really is not something the body should be getting into that state and doing a deep cleanse. Since there's another mouth to feed, and all the nutrients coming from here are going in here, we want them going in there. I mean, that's just the way it is as humans. When I'm saying we, that's the way it's supposed to be. And then I'll touch a little more base on that in a second. But as you can see, somebody that's just beginning life doesn't want to detox. But you know, once they're off of normal, breastfeeding and that nature, and they can actually start consuming food, I'll show you that here in a moment. But of course, any type of mother's milk is going to be the best nourishment for a baby, and that's just very, very, very well known. And that's what pretty much any new mother should be doing. So that is something that is very important. So what should a pregnant woman eat? Well, definitely fruit, and I'll get into that again once we go past this level here. I just want to keep everyone really informed here on what I would personally do, or what I would suggest. And again, this is not going to be something exact for everyone. This is just an idea, only because pregnant women shouldn't be detoxing. I'm just giving some foods that not only will make sure that there's not going to be a deep cleanse on the body, but also will provide some very important nutrients as well. And remember, a lot of these will come from fruits. You can get all your omegas and everything else too. But when you're dealing with a pregnant woman and it's wild Alaskan salmon, there's really nothing better than that. I wouldn't suggest a lot of animal products, but doing this several times per week can be very beneficial. If it's wild Alaskan, if it's farmed, no, it's not beneficial at all. There's a big, big difference, and that should be avoided. I know this is a little pricier because there's not really much wild salmon left, and only wild Alaskan salmon is the true wild salmon. So keep that in mind, and this should definitely be cooked. Obviously, to the preference, preferably baked is what I would do. But again, doing this a couple times a week is not going to be harmful and can be quite beneficial. Because remember, all meat stops the detox process. So if you go all fruit, it's eventually going to get into that mode. Now, I would definitely suggest berries. Personally, would not eat the strawberries, but I would look into the other berries. Definitely blueberries raspberries, and of course blackberries. Those are the three that I would suggest, and these are something that you could just put in one meal. A few apples is okay, as long as they're really fresh, and use different ones. I wouldn't do more than 1 or 2 a day. You know, really too many apples is not going to be that great. You should definitely offset it with some other fruits, but again, some sweet fruits would definitely be important. Grapes could also be consumed, and I would definitely go organic on the grapes. Definitely, if somebody's going to consume any type of grape, and I would look more towards the red ones with a little more resveratrol and antioxidants than the other grapes. That's what I would suggest. And figs are going to be very important because figs have a lot of vitamin A. People don't realize this. Per fig, you're going to get a ton of nutrients. They're very sweet, and they're easy to eat when they're fresh, not dried. Tiger figs, you could do some of the darker figs. Obviously, this is when they're really fresh. You want them pretty ripe. You don't want them too hard, but you definitely want them nice and ripe. And you definitely want figs that are going to be really, really tasty, so you'll be able to consume them. And you might be wondering, well, what else? Well, dates. I would really highly suggest, if you're going to go with dates, dates are definitely, they're not a dried fruit, but these ones look okay. They're really moist and soft. Those are the ones that you want. You don't want any dates like this. Those are going to be much harder. These, to me, are not good quality dates. You definitely want to have some that, I mean, these are not that great either. These are definitely going to be a lot chewy, a lot more chewy, and a lot more moist. So you definitely want to look into those. You can do a dragon fruit, maybe just one type. There's actually 3 types of dragon fruit. The yellow dragon fruit is going to be the overall best type of dragon fruit, and I'll show you that here in just a second. The yellow dragon fruit, I've recently just got into this. Let me show you folks a better picture here. This is very rare. It's only grown in 2 different parts of the world. Sorry, not in the United States. And it really packs a really sweet taste. Very, very nutritious. This one is the priciest out of all of these, so keep this in mind. This is the yellow one, this is the red one, and the white one. Right now, I've done all 3 of these. I just did my first meal today with all 3 of these. Phenomenal. Of course, I added in the other fruits, but these fruits are still okay to consume. They're very nutritious, along with some wild Alaskan salmon, and also any type of steamed vegetable is going to be okay as well. And these just can be lightly seasoned, and this is what, like I said, I would suggest. It's very well balanced. It's still sticking with a good amount of fruit, which is going to supply most of the nutrients. The steaming stops the detox, of course, as well, and so does the salmon, as I mentioned before. So this will be very, very well balanced compared to what other people are eating. So you're not going to go wrong with this, but again, these are not exact foods. These are just suggestions. So always look into certain foods and just make sure that they're okay for you as a person, and you can always run that by your healthcare provider. And then also never take any herbs or herbal supplements during pregnancy or breastfeeding. But again, when it comes to fruit, children, when they're able to start chewing fruit, this is the best way to do it, because you want them to get used to eating that whole fruit. And when they're of age and they can start eating food, well, there's nothing wrong with starting to incorporate fruit into what they actually are eating. They don't have to eat all fruit, but if you do a lot of fruit, it's really going to help them if you really kind of balance it out with the higher quality fruits. Again, a couple apples. I mean, a kid that's just starting out to eat is not going to be able to really eat that much, but you definitely want to do the berries. I would definitely incorporate some of the dragon fruit if you can, and definitely some other melons. Melons are going to be something that will also be beneficial. Watermelon, or maybe some honeydew. So, again, these should be all fresh. They shouldn't be anything that is store-bought, cut up. That's just a big difference in the quality of fruit. You want the watermelon to be, again, really ripe. It should have definitely a lot of yellow on the end of it. I mean, you can Google ripe watermelons, but you really want to pick it yourself, so you're getting the highest quality, and it'll be much cheaper and better for you. So, any questions, let me know, and I'll go ahead and do another video on whatever topic people are asking about. But this should really sum it up for two types of people that really shouldn't ever try to detox. And again, the fruit is really going to be very nourishing. If you haven't seen my other videos, humans are really meant to eat a lot of fruit. But again, you don't want to push that on those two groups of people, because they really don't need to have any type of detoxification. Really, they shouldn't when they're really just starting to finally eat solid foods. And pregnant women really need to nourish themselves a little extra with the right types of foods for the up-and-coming new life in this world. Thank you so much, folks. Bye-bye.